What's going on, wrestling fans? It is Monday, May 18th. You're on WrestlingRumors.net. You're on Wrestling Warm-Up right here with your boy, Doug O'Mac. And, of course, we're joined by the Dailies, Adam and Sam. What's going on? Are y'all having a good day?
We're having a great new day.
There you go. Oh, look at her. Look at her.
Nice play on words.
Where's the, I need a drum roll for that.
Yeah. Drum
I know
roll
I got
snare.
one somewhere. Can we, are you guys having a good day?
Yeah, awesome day.
Absolutely. What about you guys?
That's when you repeat your joke so I can do that.
Go ahead. Go ahead. One more time. You having
We're
a good
having
day?
a great new day. Oh.
Oh, and this show has started off so bad. Walter, what's going on, my friend? Walter joining us from the great land of Canada on a holiday. Today is what day is today?
Queen, one of the queens has a day.
Queen Amidala Day?
Queen Nunavut, I think that's her name. But yeah, I still had to work, so it's not really a holiday if Walter has to make that money. But I'm home now, and I'm here to talk wrestling about a pay-per-view I didn't watch. But we'll wing it like we always do here.
Queen Nefertiti Day?
Nefertiti?
That's what it says.
Is that like the stripper in Egypt or something?
I've heard it both ways.
All right, cool.
Mr. Alba is joining us as well today. I'm missing the red shirt memo apparently.
Are we still talking about the Nicole Bass Val Venus program or no?
Well, if that's what it is, it's Nicole Bass Day in Canada. That's why. That's what the holiday is. Queen
That
Nicole Bass.
Oh yeah.
I'm not your buddy guy.
I'm
No,
a
so
Bass man.
that's the actual lyric to the song. A lot of people don't know that, but Kip Sop told us that himself. It's actually "I'm a Bass Man." He was such
after he
fan.
told me about my Adam's apple, of course.
Oh yeah. Well, it would have been weird if he said "I'm an ass man" when talking about you being a transvestite. So
Right.
that would have gone into a whole new level of not good. That would have been bad. Fellas and lady, we had a pay-per-view last night, and not all of us got to talk about our thoughts and reactions to it. I got to talk a little bit with Frank Manzo, and of course Sam and Adam got to share their thoughts immediately after the pay-per-view on WrestlingRumors.net. Walter, you already admitted that you didn't watch it. I
watched some of it.
Yeah, I know you watched some of it, and you were talking to us about what was going on as you were covering all the rest of your stuff. But holy crap, man! Again, and yes, I say every year because this is the third year that Payback has been on pay-per-view. Really, really good show. Another really good Payback. I don't understand how they keep doing this with a throwaway. What we thought was a throwaway, I think if it's a 3-win streak, it can't be a throwaway anymore. This is actually a pretty good pay-per-view. The build, terrible, but as we've said on this show how many times, usually when the build sucks, the pay-per-view's good. So it's actually working out this way. Free month, so they're trying to get as many viewers as possible. The funny thing was, while we were doing our pre-show last night, they announced that there's going to be a podcast with Stone Cold Steve Austin and Paul Heyman. And I know JBL's Dragon was trying to tell me about that right after we got done with our show last night. I told you there'd be some kind of podcast that's a bait, trying to catch some fish, to catch some subscribers to the network. Obviously, it's going to work. And today we find out that the Stone Cold Steve Austin podcast is live every month. He's gonna have a guest on every single month. I guarantee it'll probably be the first Monday of the month every single time to try to get subscribers to buy the network before the next month comes around. But I mean, we have guests that are confirmed for the upcoming 3 or 4 months, like Sting, and holy crap, Mark Calloway, The Undertaker's gonna shoot on the Steve Austin podcast. That's enough for my $9.99. I take it every year if I get to see The Undertaker freaking shoot for the first time since 2003. I mean, what was when he was on? It was a Canadian talk show, Walter. I don't remember which one it was.
Canada.
It was a Canadian talk show, and he sat there and he was, he wasn't the Phenom anymore. He was American Badass, so he sat there and did a shoot interview. I mean, said some really good stuff. You can find it on YouTube if you look up The Undertaker shoot. I'm sure it was 2002 or 2003. But he hasn't done that since he reestablished the Phenom gimmick. So I'm extremely excited. He's doing WrestleCon, a Comic-Con for Wizard World in Chicago. He's doing these different appearances. To me, it screams that he's wrapping up his career very, very soon. But the cool part is we're actually going to finally hear from the mouth of the horse himself, just what it's like being the Undertaker. So I'm super excited about the Steve Austin show coming to the WWE Network monthly. That's going to be absolutely stellar. But again, Payback happened after that announcement, and I was very floored and excited throughout the show. I think the Divas match was the weakest match on the card, and it was still entertaining. It wasn't 14 minutes of bullcrap. It was like 6 to 7 minutes of a really good match. It wasn't bad. I wasn't really turned off by that. So, what do you guys think of Payback?
It was better than I expected, like you said, because the build was so bad. But again, WWE has this like really weird track record of they disappoint us so heavily with the television and the build, and then when the pay-per-view comes, the wrestling itself actually compensates for it. So that's really cool. But yeah, like I thought the tag team match was great. I mean, what do you expect? It's Kid-Zaro and the New Day. They're always going to steal the show. The main event was cool. You know, Rollins nailing the pedigree. Didn't see that coming. Still kind of weird. I guess they don't have a finishing move for him yet. They should probably hit the books on that one.
It's so bad. That pedigree was atrocious.
I was glad Neville had a really good showing. You know, I'm like the biggest mark for Neville. I will say this: the match that pissed me off more than anything, and I know some people were a fan of it, I hated the I Quit match.
Sam's about to destroy you.
Dude, Sam can destroy me. It's cool, man. But you know what? I Quit John Cena. First of all, it's a given. He's never going to lose that thing. And the Rusev storyline has run its course. We all kind of guessed that Lana was going to be the one to quit for Rusev, and the whole, language thing, we couldn't understand what he was saying, but Lana knew, and she quit for him. But yeah, I hope that's the end of that. But I mean, everything was pretty good, but it wasn't something that you desperately had to see. If you like good wrestling, then you would have enjoyed Payback. But if you're looking for some sort of continuation with storylines, you could have missed it, and it wouldn't have hurt you.
Well, I just want to throw this in there because I didn't get to say this with Frank last night. This is my beef with the whole I Quit thing and Lana doing that for him without throwing a towel in or anything like that. Just trying to do it comes back to the commentary when they're so bad. You had Michael Cole and JBL argue for 10 minutes that the superstar has to say I quit, and he wasn't saying I quit. I don't care if he's Bulgarian or not, the man before the match started said, I quit. He said, John Cena, go ahead and say, I quit, and I will not punish you. He literally said those words. He can speak English, so the fact that he wasn't saying, I quit, is bogus. This match is still going on. In my opinion, it's frustrating to know that he did not say, I quit, even though the cat can speak some English. And they went with this angle anyway, even though Michael Cole, who's atrocious, and JBL, who's even worse, were sitting there arguing about that they have to say I quit for 10 minutes. Sam, you liked the match, though, so rebuttal against Walter?
Yeah, I really liked the match and the fact that they took it outside the ring, and it reminded me sort of like a hardcore match with the way they were using like the computers and all the equipment, and the fact that John Cena just at one point blew up Rusev with all the pyrotechnics, and they were using the railing to do moves on. I loved the match. I thought it was really good. It reminded me of like the old ECW style matches where they just went crazy and just beat each other up with random stuff all over the place.
I wouldn't quite compare it to
Thank you. This is PG hardcore.
I mean, like,
it was PG hardcore.
2008 ECW maybe, but like,
Yeah,
right. WWE ECW, yes.
Exactly.
But I agree with you, Doug. Rusev never said I quit, so that match is still technically going on. They could continue it tonight for,
Oh, and Lana was just misfiring with that. I mean, her face, Rusev's facial expressions had me rolling the entire match. Lana's were just ridiculous, and so she was not selling well. If this is the future of Lana, I really hate the fact that they're doing this. It did not make me go, oh yeah, you know what? Lana's going to be really good by herself and not Russian. It's going to be really good. John, your thought on the pay-per-view, bro?
Yeah, I liked it. Though it was a good pay-per-view all the way around. Main event was fantastic outside the ending, which we called verbatim that's how the match was going to happen, that it was going to be great except for the ending. The Shield spot was amazing.
Awesome.
So awesome. I liked pretty much every match on the card. I thought the pacing of the card was very good.
Yeah.
Which is important. And plus 5 for the Henry Rollins shirt too. You gotta let the beat rock, man. Let the beat rock. But no, I dug it. I thought it was good, and everything is always great until Battleground comes around. So enjoy a couple more pay-per-views.
I literally said the same exact thing with Frank on Wrestle Reaction. I said, you know what? May's free. They're trying to get subscribers to stick around for June. We got a great pay-per-view, which looked and felt like it was designed by Triple H. Honestly, the pacing, the way that it was, the matches were drawn out, it was very NXT. It felt like, and I said last night too, I feel like the main roster superstars stepped it up last night to give us really good matches and really good things to talk about because there is an NXT special on Wednesday. And, everything that every single time there's been an NXT special, we hear about the main roster being pissed off because NXT guys get all this time to work really good matches that the fans can mark out for. Well, we got that last night from the main roster, so that was good. And I think that they did that on purpose. And with a free month where they're trying to get people to stick around in quarter 2 so that the numbers are just as good as quarter 1, which I don't know how that's going to happen, but they're going to try their best. You're gonna get really good pay-per-views. They threw in Elimination Chamber at the last second, and we're going to get a good pay-per-view there. I really think because they canceled the Greenville show so everybody could be on the card. It's going to happen. It's going to be good, and they're going to try to keep everybody around on June 1st. And then you get Money in the Bank 2 weeks after that. So Money in the Bank's going to sell. It's that, and between Money in the Bank, SummerSlam, and WrestleMania, those are the 3 biggest pay-per-views, and Royal Rumble. Money in the Bank has replaced Survivor Series as a must-see pay-per-view. It's not, Survivor Series may have been one of the first big 4, but it's not the big 4 anymore. It's Money in the Bank, Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, and WrestleMania. So Money in the Bank's going to sell, and that's going to be good. When July comes, that's going to be the tricky part, is booking Battleground, because you do, at that point, from Money in the Bank to Battleground, you do have 4 weeks. It's an actual time to build something. We just got to hope that they don't drop the ball there.
Battleground is the anti-payback.
Yeah, Battleground is usually atrocious. They both started at the same time. The word of the day, kids, atrocious. Literally, Battleground has been bad every single time. Outside of 1 or 2 matches on the card, Battleground's consistently been bad. This is the 3rd year for Battleground 2, Walter. They started at the same time.
3 Battlegrounds.
You lie!
Yeah, right. 1, 2, 3.
We have a different
Dylan. Spit hot fire.
That's not the count. That's Kali.
Too close, man.
But
anyway,
we start with number 2 in Canada, just for the record. There's no 1 here.
Well, because you can't keep the score. Ooh.
I felt that.
Zing. But no, May's going to be good. The Elimination Chamber is going to be good. Battleground, that's where it's going to fall apart if it falls apart. I really hope it doesn't, because I want good build through Battleground to get to SummerSlam. Brock Lesnar will be back after Battleground. I will be in New York for SummerSlam. John, I think are you going to be here? Or are you going to be in Germany?
Yeah, as of now, I'm in New York City, so we're breaking the walls down, man.
Fantastic.
And we got to tell them about our cover band, man.
Yeah. Don't spoil the surprise. Don't spoil the surprise.
That's a surprise.
Because there's going to be some exclusive content on the WrestlingRumors.net YouTube page come SummerSlam weekend. That's going to blow some people's minds.
Gonna rock.
Because the funny thing is literally John and I are going to be hanging out at the Manzo Casa and throwing some good stuff together. So you're going to be wanting to check that out with Frank and myself, and probably Joe Omega's going to be there because he's always there, and John Alba. We're going to be throwing down SummerSlam weekend. So if you're planning on being in New York for SummerSlam, make sure you come and check us out. We'll be putting stuff all over Twitter where we are, where we're going in the city, what we're doing in Brooklyn, and y'all can come hang out with us. We had a blast doing that in New Orleans with some of you guys. It was a really good time, so we're going to try to get a good meet-up together for the Wrestling Rumors crew to meet you, the fans who come and watch this stuff all the time in New York City come August 25th weekend. So excited about that. That's going to be a good time.
Can you guys dubstep the Bree Mode theme? Like you guys, the musicians, get on that.
I don't want to listen to that.
Bree Mode? Come on now.
I don't want to hear that song.
Rusev took care of that last night.
Damn it. I swear to God, I hate that song so much, and I hate that she yells that. It's the worst thing. I cringe every single time she does it. But let's talk about Raw, because that's what's happening tonight. which they're gonna have to basically solidify the card for Elimination Chamber tonight. I know there was some breaking news about an hour ago. WWE announced that the contestants for the IC title Elimination Chamber match will be announced tonight, but not on TV, which I think is really funny. I mean, it may happen at the end of the show when they're done, but they're trying to get people to download the WWE app as well, because they're going to reveal the contestants for the IC title Elimination Chamber match through the WWE app during Raw. So I'm assuming every now and then, probably during commercial breaks, you're going to get another announcement of who's going to be in the chamber for the IC title. And so that's happening. At least by the end of the night, we'll know who's in that chamber match outside of Sheamus. I mean, we could probably predict it right now.
Yeah.
How's it not going to be Sheamus, King Barrett, Neville, Dolph Ziggler,
Wyatt and Ryback?
Yeah, maybe. Ryback is hurt, and we'll talk about that in a minute as well.
No.
He may not be as hurt as everybody thinks he is online, because obviously we would have some kind of report about that. But
is he Sami Zayn hurt?
He's not Sami Zayn hurt. But Sami's a tough bastard. He's going to wrestle this Wednesday.
For all we know, for now.
You really think they're gonna keep promoting that match super heavy like they have been the last week, knowing that he's hurt?
Remember when they promoted Ambrose versus Rollins and they completely pulled that from the card during a pay-per-view? They can get away with it.
That's a different story. It's not an NXT show. I don't think they're gonna bring in Samoa Joe to replace Sami Zayn.
No, they just do Balor and Breeze in the main event with Owens like they did during the house shows.
Well, the reports we've seen is that Samoa Joe is likely going to be thrown into that triple threat.
I seriously doubt it.
I seriously doubt it too, especially after seeing the report today that Samoa Joe is going to be working independent dates, but he could be doing a Rhino schedule. We can talk all about this in a little bit once we get done talking about Raw, and we can talk about some new stuff if you guys haven't seen it. But we're going to find out who's going to be in the IC title Elimination Chamber match. We're going to find out how the tag team Elimination Chamber match is going to work. There is a tag title match tonight. There are 3 title matches on Raw tonight, so there's something for Raw. A little bit of encouragement to watch the show. I don't want this to happen, but for some reason I had this feeling in my bones that Rusev's going to answer it tonight. I just had this feeling that last night wasn't the end for them. I don't know how or why. I just feel it. I just feel that way.
This is the feud that never ends. It just goes on and on, my friend.
And this guy, the Canadian, brings up lamb chop references at this point.
You don't even know lamb chop, man.
I do know lamb chop.
I went to a live show to see Sherry Lewis and lamb chop.
So Walter had a twisted childhood.
That's a man to admit that, okay?
What'd you say, Sam?
That takes a man to admit that he went to a lamb chop show. Even I wouldn't admit that.
He went to a lamb chop live event, guys.
I did.
Let's not
lamb chop house show.
What's more embarrassing? Say you went to a lamb chop show or a TNA live show?
Hey, it depends on if Ric Flair bled on you or not.
That's true.
Say that. But at the same time, Walter definitely has a whole drawer of tube socks that he calls lamb chops. Let's just go ahead and accept that happens. It's not Mr. Sacco's. They're lamb chops.
Damn right.
Yeah, so on top of 3 title matches, which is the U.S. title, the Tag Team Championships, and the Divas title, which Naomi's going to be facing Nikki tonight for the Divas Championship, Stephanie McMahon is returning. Which is something that we thought may happen last night, or last week when they kept saying the Authority is back, and then it was just Triple H in one segment. They only showed him in daggone one segment. Stephanie's back. They say that she's going to have some influence. Usually when Stephanie comes back and there's stuff to announce, she's usually the one to announce it. So I wouldn't be surprised if at the end of the night to announce the IC title chamber people, Stephanie McMahon has some kind of influence in that. But Stephanie's going to be on the show. So tonight has some interesting things to it. We're going to get build towards Elimination Chamber and some title matches. If Rusev's not the guy that comes out and challenges or answers the open challenge tonight, who do you guys think it'll be?
Heath Slater? He always comes out.
Well, it is worth noting, if they are done with Rusev and Cena's going to need something to do for Elimination Chamber. He's defending. We know that.
Correct.
So maybe you start something here.
I mean, that's the easy thing, yeah.
I'm going to go completely out of left field, and there's a 0% chance of happening. But with the NXT show on Wednesday, Kevin Owens.
Well, see, that would be interesting and would be cool because, reports today, of course, with them adding the Elimination Chamber show last minute, they got to start promoting for it heavily tonight. There was supposed to be some NXT segments tonight to try and build towards the special on Wednesday. So
and he did the 5-knuckle shuffle on the Philadelphia show. He could be.
No, he did it 3 nights in a row, bro.
Oh, okay.
And it would be cool. It would be cool. I just, with what happened with Zayn and with so many injuries on this card, I don't think it would be wise to chance it.
Well, as long as he doesn't pump up the crowd and tear his friggin' shoulder.
I was about to say, it wasn't Cena that hurt.
No. I'm not saying it's Cena hurting him. I'm just saying the chance of anyone getting hurt for that matter. But, I could see, even at Elimination Chamber, to be honest, them doing an open challenge at the Elimination Chamber, which might be a good idea because it would make it pretty important, that match in particular. But I would think whoever faces Cena tonight is probably who he faces at Elimination Chamber, or whoever interrupts the match that Cena has tonight is who he faces at Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, I really hope it's not Big Show, who's also rumored to be returning tonight.
Oh, God.
Just saying, I don't know who.
WrestleMania 20 rematch?
It's an open challenge.
No, stop it. You're hurting me. You're hurting my feelings.
Adam, Sam, who do you think answers this thing? And Sam, you think Heath Slater or Adam, legitimately?
I think Rusev. I think you know what? I think actually what John said. I think something happens and Rusev comes out, and then they put some finality to some closure to their thing at Elimination Chamber. I don't want to. I mean, I don't know if it needs to go 2 more weeks, but the way they ended it with how we were talking about, did Lana really, or did Rusev really say I quit? He didn't say it. She was saying he quits. It wasn't said that I quit. That kind of deal. I mean, it's only 2 weeks, so they could stretch it to Elimination Chamber and then really put the kibosh on that feud there. But yeah, I think that it's either it has to either be somebody that comes out tonight, or I actually like the idea of having an open challenge at Elimination Chamber because then it would make it seem a lot bigger because it's a much bigger stage for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. I hope that.
I think you're right, Doug.
I hope we get some closure there. I understand, and I had some discussions with some actual wrestlers on Twitter that were talking to me about it last night because they were like, hey, it's his manager. She can say that for him because she's his manager and she has a voice for him. And I'm like, I understand wrestling logic. I don't understand WWE logic because the commentators just spent 10 minutes arguing about it.
Only way he can win is right.
So it's kind of
I agree with Doug. I think Rusev will ultimately be the challenge tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see who else can handle it.
We need a 4 out of 7 falls match to determine who the winner of this bloody feud is. Let's go big or go home. New Day set the bar. We're going 4 out of 7 falls.
The only thing with this is if it's Rusev John Cena at Elimination Chamber, how does Rusev lose?
Mm-hmm.
How did he lose the last 7 matches?
3 matches 2 in a row.
Fireman's carry. That's how he loses.
He's lost 3 in a row on pay-per-view to him.
Does anyone even remember how badass this guy used to be and how that insane winning streak he was on?
I'm telling you, you can fix all of that with that thing called Money in the Bank. He's not winning Money in the Bank. Why not? Why can't he win Money in the Bank? Especially if Lana's away from him?
Because you all convinced me Ambrose is winning it, and now I can't change my mind twice. You said forever it was going to be Ambrose, and he's going to cash it in at WrestleMania, and they're going to do the Shield triple threat.
It should be. That's what I said, because that, to me, makes money.
It would be the coolest, but...
watch Stardust win it or something.
Look, I'm serious. You take Lana away from Rusev, which obviously they're going to do. He's been beaten by Cena 3 pay-per-views in a row now, pretty much. You got to think...
Not pretty much. That's fact.
Well, Elimination Chamber, it was the DQ finish, right? Fastlane. Fastlane, rather.
Fastlane was the DQ, or something like that.
So it wasn't clean. It wasn't clean. Point is that
he won that match. John Cena beat him at WrestleMania.
Right. So, but my point is...
Extreme Rules and last night.
Great. So there you go. So all that stuff happened. So you don't have him as a talking head, so let the briefcase do all the talking for Rusev.
It would be hilarious watching him run to the ring with the briefcase. Just like his big, flabby, hairy stomach just bouncing in the wind.
I'm just scared of that because at the same time, Cash made some good points last night when he was on here with us. You got to think about a mouthpiece for Rusev if Lana leaves. And if it's not Paul Heyman, they're going to hire somebody like that awful Russian lawyer that he had, and it's going to make it even worse.
Oh, my God.
Who the hell do you bring in for his mouth?
Jeff Harvey.
Jeff Harvey.
Jeff Harvey.
They're gonna bring Mike Adamle. They're gonna bring Mike Adamle back to manage Rusev.
They'll bring you in, man. You guys look alike.
Well, you can be the doppelganger. I'll just shave into the goatee, grow my hair back out, and we'll be good.
Find another American model like Lana. Give her a Russian accent.
Dogo Korshinev.
Yeah, there you go. Douglas Khrushchevs.
There you go. You're the manager.
I can do it. Let's do it.
Douglas.
Long-lost twin brother who didn't inherit the muscle mass.
Screw the. Hey, there's muscle under the flap. Muscle. I used to be built. All right. It's just not. I'm getting back.
Everyone.
I'm not saying you're big. I'm saying Rusev is big.
Everyone has shape. Some are just round.
What'd you say?
Everyone has shape. Some are just round.
Hey. I'm just saying when I'm working out. And through the jiggle, you can see some abs. That's all I'm saying. Through the jiggle, you can see some abs.
There's no ass. That's all.
There is no ass. I have no ass at all. I have a no ass at all disease. It is bad. If I didn't have a belt, my pants would not exist.
It's an epidemic.
On top of the U.S. title challenge that we always see on Monday Night Raw, which has made Raw even better, we have a tag team title match, and this is crazy because I mean Adam and I were talking about before we went live. We thought the titles would not be on the line again until. We got to Elimination Chamber where, and obviously they still don't know what they're going to do. Hopefully they figured it out for tonight and they can announce it. But we know that they teased last night all three members of the New Day would be in the chamber at the same time.
Squeeze it in there.
So I think we're either going to get a six-man tag team match in the chamber, or they're going to go full-on 6-team tornado tag, which would be crazy, and it would draw eyes to the pay-per-view because that's something that we haven't seen before. And like we said last night, with all these different things that we've seen, with the fact that Elimination Chamber's been around for a while now, that Hell in a Cell is what it is, there's not a lot of things we haven't seen in WWE. And a 6-team tornado tag inside of a hellish cell like Elimination Chamber would be interesting and would pull some eyes onto the product. But tonight we get Kizarro, #BTE, who as they're trying to get over now, best team ever. They're going to be taking on the New Day, and it's going to be there's a stipulation for tonight, and that is Xavier Woods is banned from ringside. So they're going to try to play on the fact that Xavier Woods was the only reason that the New Day won last night at Payback, which he was. And he's barred from ringside. So we're going to see what happens tonight. What do you think happens in this match? Do we obviously I don't think the New Day loses the titles, but if they do lose the titles tonight, I fully expect them to win them back on May 31st. What do you guys think?
That was so racist last night. There was no Freebird rule. I was mistaken. I thought you could just get a third guy in there.
Exactly what happened.
What?
Because we said we're like, oh well, Cole can't distinguish the two of them, so I guess that's how they're going to.
And the sad thing is, Michael Cole legitimately did it twice.
It was exactly how they did it.
Oh my
Michael
God!
Cole did it twice. It wasn't even that he just misspoke about Xavier Woods. He called Xavier Woods Kofi Kingston for a good 2 minutes, and then literally when Kofi Kingston ran over there, he said, "And now Xavier Woods is getting in on this."
Like, if this was pre-Boobies Nikki Bella, like, I could completely get it because I couldn't tell those two apart. And then, even the Usos, I still can't distinguish them. But Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston, they're two black men. Like, come on.
They're black. It works.
They're black, yeah. Like, I mean, holy shit. Are we going to think Big E? Are they going to do it with Big E and Kofi soon? Like,
look at the pecs. Look at the pecs on Xavier Woods.
Kofi has similar pecs. They'll never tell the difference.
They'll never tell the pecs. Look at the pecs on Xavier Woods. Him and Big E look exactly alike. What a maneuver
between those suckers.
What a Monday Night Raw! The three stages of Vince McMahon's voiceovers on comedy.
Sam and Adam are sitting there and being like, "What the hell did we get ourselves into?"
No, I'm actually pretty sure that Vince has Kofi wearing 2 pigtails simply for the announcers to go, okay, 2 pigtails is Kofi Kingston.
Exactly right, and they're still getting it messed up. Exactly, they're still getting it mixed up, and they've done that on purpose. Like, if you look at the New Day's new photo of them that they use for the matches and for the lineups on WWE.com and stuff, Big E is his own guy, just like Kofi and Xavier Woods are doing the same like cheesy ass grin, just so that there's something that kind of makes them go, yeah, I guess they could pass for the same person.
That's why. Do you think, in a way, Cole's been told to mix them up just to?
Heck no. They may try to say that now, but
I always gotta toss it out just in case.
No way. He called Payback paperback on Monday too. Let's not forget.
Paperback. What an idiot!
I did see the suggestion online. Bo Dallas joins up a New Day as Owen Hart joined the Nation back in the day.
Oh my God, that would be great.
It would be so good.
Doug would never have to watch wrestling again because he'd just be so happy.
I'm a Black Heart, damn it!
I am not a nugget!
Woo! Woo! Damn.
Oh my God.
Owen's widow's gonna sue me for that. That's about to happen. No, but they had a tag team title match. We'll see what happens tonight. I don't expect to see a title change. I don't expect to see a title change. But if it happens, what, John?
Breaking news: there are not 6 teams that deserve to be in the friggin' chamber.
No, there's not, but they may do it. John, what?
I could see it. You have Cesaro Kid win it back tonight. Next week you have another tag team title match, and then the chamber the week after that.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. If they actually do win tonight, then I totally see New Day winning it back at Elimination Chamber.
And it's possible. And I gotta tell you, I am so worried because there was no reason the Ascension should have won last night.
And they're going to be in it. You know they're going to be in this thing.
The fact that they did scares the hell out of me.
The fact that they won proves to you that they are going to put them into that Elimination Chamber.
Oh, yeah, they're in the chamber for sure. Yeah. And they might win. That's the even scary part.
Okay, no.
They get the win.
They're coming through.
No.
I hyped them up for a good year, damn it. They owe me one.
Those chambers will allow them to hit the refresh button on anything they want.
No.
Can't deny that.
I understand that that's WWE logic.
Oh, yeah, okay, then that's how we're booking, man.
You're pissing me off just thinking about
because you know I'm right. You hate me because it's true.
You're not going to put the titles on the Ascension. I'm just saying.
Intensity, integrity, intelligence, Adam's apple.
I will say this right now. Okay, John, if you really think that could happen, then you predict that when we do our predictions.
It's not gonna happen. It could happen.
Then stop being ridiculous. You know that's not happening. You're just trying to stir the pot right now.
Well, so when the people copy off of our website and verbatim copy and paste off us, they can say that that's what we said, and then they'll check our website and nothing will be there.
Very
Hi,
true.
Cole Cabana, how you doing?
Yeah.
I agree. That's Babu.
Yeah. I think that does happen on a very regular basis at this point. Hey, everybody that writes for all those other websites that have 46,000 followers on Twitter. Hi, I wrote every one of those pieces. Can you at least give me some credit? Say my name on there.
Or just not take it at all. That would be great too.
No, I'm fine if they take it. Just put that we wrote it because we're the ones that actually write articles. We don't just put one line of a rumor in there. We actually take the time to actually write because we all have some sort of communication degree. It would be nice to get some credit for the writing that we do. We did write a book at one point. That did happen.
You wrote a book? We did.
Some of us said, no, you didn't write crap. No,
I wrote a line.
You did.
I wrote my name.
Yeah, you wrote your name. Some of us wrote the other
chapters. I sent you a link to my name, and it was involved.
That did happen. No, but outside of those three, we have a Divas Championship match, which Naomi got the pin last night with putting her butt in Nikki's face and getting the pin.
PG.
Can we establish, and I got to find it on WWE.com, how they set this Divas Championship title match up? I want you to hear the great writers of WWE.com and what they think is really, really intriguing writing. This is literally the paragraph that sets up tonight's Divas Championship match. Hashtag give Divas a chance, right? Is it the shoes? Seriously, I'm not kidding. It's the first 4 words of the article with a question mark. Is it the shoes? Well, we saw as we saw at WWE Payback, Naomi's recent run of success has little to do with her light-up kicks.
Adam likes this a lot.
We all thought that.
In the night's Divas tag team match, Naomi and Tamina dominated. Yes, that's what I'm calling them, just like Cesaro.
Cesaro and Tamina.
Namina dominated Nikki and Brie Bella, with Naomi sealing the win with a pinfall over Divas champion Nikki Bella. After that impressive show of force, meaning her backside, Naomi has no doubt brought herself closer to another Divas Championship opportunity, going as far as to throw down the gauntlet. Ron Cherry quotation, give her the business. Going as far to throw down the gauntlet on WWE.com interview after her payback victory. This afternoon, the match was made official, and it will be Naomi versus Nikki for the Divas title in an explosive, must-see title bout that will go on right around 9:30, just in time for people to go take a piss. Don't miss Raw at 8/7 Central on USA Network. The fact that they literally start the article off with, "Is it her shoes?" Shoes.
It's got to be the shoes.
Really show what they literally think about divas.
Women.
Who wrote that? Mars Blackman? Is that who wrote that article?
James Wortman, which you know is not his real name.
Right.
It's the best name ever.
Sam, what do you? I mean, how do you take that as a female? Like, the first thing out the chute is it her shoes that are giving her victories?
It's just so stereotypical. Like, really, it's woman's shoes that makes the woman. Fuck off.
They light up.
So,
They do. It writes itself.
They're like LA lights.
Yeah, I mean, I like the shoes. They're shiny. I mean, it's, person with OCD problems probably just like, oh, look, shiny. Give her the title. But
Shiny, shimmering splendor.
I like the shoes. That's not the reason, I guess. I don't know. That's so stupid. I don't even know how to answer that question.
The best question we've ever asked.
Actually happened in a creative meeting. Triple H or someone or Vince comes in, they're like, all right, we're turning Fatu heel, how are we going to do it? And someone goes, new shoes. And they're like, yes. Yes.
What an idea!
New shoes, new woman.
Brilliant. Are we fishing or cutting bait? Yeah, it writes itself. Hey, baby daddy, we are going to fifth with this. Fifth with her all day long. Just give her the light up shoes, baby. All over it, baby. That's how we're working with Fatu.
I made polka dots work, baby. I could get those shoes over too.
Oh, my goodness gracious. So there's a Divas Championship match tonight, which, as we talked about last night, Paige should be back on TV tonight, so I fully expect Paige to run in and ruin this.
Oh, don't throw her in this mess.
I'm not sure
Keep
about
her away
that.
from this.
You can't do Paige versus Nikki if Nikki's a face.
Are you kidding me? They just flipped. They flip back and forth faster than a trout out of water.
If they have her turn, then yeah, then you can do it. But I'm saying, which I don't think, I would really hope at least that they didn't turn her for one free pay-per-view, but they may have.
Can he not at least
their faces in the Divas division?
Right. I mean, that's really how they look at it. Obviously, they look at their shoes. I mean, that's how they determine. But for real, like I don't disagree with you, John. In wrestling logic, this is not WWE logic. I'm talking about wrestling logic. You don't have Paige return as a hot face going against the face Nikki Bella. At the same time, can this not set up a triple threat because Paige is the number one contender?
Yes, that it can. But I mean, if I'm booking this, I've got Naomi taking the title over Nikki, their rematch at the Chamber, and then after that is when Paige makes the return and you've got your number one contender there against the heel champion Naomi.
No.
I mean,
you have Paige come back, screw Naomi from winning. Paige is supposed to be a babyface, Naomi's supposed to be a heel.
And you can do that too.
Heel and then have a triple threat.
You can do that too. I'm just saying, if you're looking for that payoff of Naomi taking out Paige now is the number one contender against the chick who took her out, is how I think there's more payoff in that. But I agree with you too. I think the triple threat works as well.
I think it's the only thing that makes sense.
I think we're overanalyzing it too.
Well, it's the Divas, so of course we always overanalyze because give Divas a chance.
Give NXT Divas a chance. Can we do that instead?
Let's not call them Divas because they don't.
Oh, women. You think you know what? And change the belt back to the women's title.
I'm drinking now, guys.
Let's do that, man.
Yeah, good. Yeah,
you.
Take your drink. No, but for real, it has to be a triple threat because if Naomi beats Nikki tonight, Nikki has a rematch.
Mm-hmm.
And are they going to do the rematch on SmackDown?
Sure,
They might. Wait.
Maybe that's their excuse. They do the Divas Championship as the main event of SmackDown. Hey, they main evented a live. They main evented a TV show.
Yeah, we've been begging for that, like the NXT chicks main event NXT. I mean, they would do that, just have a main event SmackDown where nobody watches.
Yeah.
Nobody watches SmackDown.
Adam's reaction was priceless, right?
This whole division sucks.
Like, have a main event a show that nobody watches, but give Divas a chance. Why not?
Yeah. No, it is what it is. I think we're getting a triple threat at least. Again, for my money, it would be nice to see a Diva. If you want to give Divas a chance, put them in the Elimination Chamber and have an Elimination Chamber match for the Divas title.
Stop.
I don't care how much it could hurt their pretty faces. Put them in there if they want to be badasses. Let them.
Oh my God, that could easily be the worst match ever.
Hey.
I mean, with all due respect, because they're not going to do anything. They're not
I know they're not. But at
change.
least it's a gimmick, at least, to get people to watch.
Well, put them inside the cell while you're at it. Kennel from hell.
This isn't Big Bossman and Al Snow.
Put him in the den.
Breed getting chased by Rottweilers for 10 minutes.
Oh,
that'd be hilarious.
Absolutely god awful. Moving on to what else is on deck for Raw and of course Elimination Chamber before we get out of here in the next 15-20 minutes. Bray Wyatt and Ryback actually didn't have as bad a match as I thought it was going to be.
Baby.
Can we talk about I didn't hate it. It actually reminded me a lot of, and Sam and Adam, y'all talked about it. Frank and I talked about it last night. It had some old school feel to it. It had some brutal, heavy hitting, and I think WWE is learning. Obviously, this is the reality era. They know how smart some of the fans are. When no one's interested in this match at all, or no one's interested in Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar, they want to see something different. What's the formula that they're going to right now? Hit them hard. Go out there, beat the crap out of each other, and get people interested in what you're doing. Because right now, no one's interested in Ryback versus Bray Wyatt. They knew that going into the pay-per-view, and boom, they have them go extremely hard against each other. And it was actually a decent match. I mean, Ryback flew from the top for the first time in his career that I can remember. He did a splash off the top.
Oh my God!
I know. I know. No, but at the same time, they were hitting each other extremely hard. Bray doing the senton off the apron definitely hurt Ryback. We've heard he has some bruising around his ribs. I don't think he actually cracked a rib or has anything broken. They haven't announced that. He's expected to be on the show tonight, but he is hurting, and he is hurt. He does have some bruising around the ribs at least. One of my boys that works there was backstage with the doctors and Ryback last night. That was that's all he told me after Payback was, well, Ryback's hurt. And I said, how serious? And he said, not too serious, just some bruising around the ribs. So there's your little insider information from last night. But it wasn't a bad match. It wasn't a bad match.
Is that his ceiling, though? Is that like the biggest compliment we can give Ryback? Hey, your match didn't
Yes! Because
yes,
Ryback's
that's the
terrible.
biggest compliment you can give him.
It is.
Push him to the moon. He's not a wreck.
The crowd was very pro Ryback in this match, which is a very good thing.
Me?
I watched it back today.
What were you watching?
I watched it back today, and I still got that same impression. Obviously, you have the fans who get back behind Wyatt, as they always do, but Ryback had a face crowd support for that match,
I
which
must
he
have had
hasn't
Canadian
had
audio.
since this whole thing started.
I'm not like at work today. I had it running on my iPad, and I was paying attention to that match again because I was literally going, God, they're hitting each other really hard, and I was paying attention, just like I did last night, and I have to disagree with you, John. Like, he did not have a face crowd. If you consider John Cena face crowd, then yeah, or a Roman Reigns face type of crowd, yeah. The kids and the women were all about Ryback. But the smart men in the crowd, the men were chanting for Bray Wyatt. The men's chanting.
With the women in there, I wouldn't have been in there going, "Hey, Ryback."
I'm telling you what I heard. I'm telling you what I heard from the crowd that was there. John Cena has women and children chanting for him. Roman Reigns has women and children chanting for him. Last night, Ryback had women and children chanting for him, but the men were chanting for Bray Wyatt. And when Bray Wyatt got the win, the place exploded. The fans want Bray Wyatt so bad.
Yeah,
like, if there's any doubt that the fans want Bray Wyatt to be a face, last night sealed the deal and let everybody know. When he got the pin, the place went nuts. Mm-hmm. And I love the logic. And he's a heel.
I love the logic behind everyone saying like Bray Wyatt desperately needed a victory. Does anyone forget like that insane run he went on before WrestleMania? Sure, he lost to The Undertaker, but the guy was on a killer winning streak beforehand. If anyone needed the victory, it was Ryback.
Mm-hmm.
But can we establish and remember that Bray Wyatt, can you tell me how many times Bray Wyatt in the last 12 months won on pay-per-view? with it not being a dirty finish?
Not many.
None of us can think
Oh,
of
because he had that like stretch with John Cena where he couldn't beat him, but so did Rusev, and yeah, that's just kind of like
and Dean Ambrose
Jericho stuff,
and Ambrose,
and Jericho.
Yeah. No, he beat Ambrose and he beat Jericho.
But it was
just the booking was just
right.
atrocious.
The booking was atrocious, and the finish.
Yeah, and he was winning.
He won.
What's next for him though? Like seriously, that's what I'm more interested in because this Ryback thing won't last that much longer.
I think he'll be in Money in the Bank for sure.
Yeah. I mean, like his next like big feud. You know, what's his next program gonna be?
I don't know, but I passionately talked about it last night. They got to give him something good.
It's probably gonna be.
What about him and Orton?
I want him and Orton.
Yeah,
I would love
Orton
him
makes
and Orton.
sense.
Him and Orton at SummerSlam,
awesome.
yes, exactly, Adam. Him and Orton at SummerSlam is a big money feud right there.
Yeah.
I totally agree, and it needs to be that because Orton's like we talked about it last night. Orton's doing some of the best work he's done ever. Since he came back, Adam, you said it, you nailed it on the head. He looks refreshed. He looks like he's enjoying himself. He doesn't look tired like he did during his title run leading up to Daniel Bryan. He looks like a new Orton. He looks like he's actually enjoying himself. So for me, if you want to have a good money match, like you said, John, going into SummerSlam, a feud between Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton would be awesome. And if Ryback is in Bray Wyatt's way to the top, and that's the whole gist of this feud was Bray Wyatt saying you're in my way, and I'm gonna make you fear me, then how are the other people on the top not in Bray Wyatt's way, like Randy Orton? Randy Orton was just in 2 title matches back to back, so
yeah,
it makes sense for him just to attack everybody that's on the top of the card.
Yeah.
And Reigns is a possibility too, of course.
Yeah, we haven't seen a Wyatt Reigns feud, but I don't know how well that's going to go over. You're going to instantly make
the championship match at SummerSlam.
You think Reigns is in the championship match?
I think
with
we
Lesnar and Rollins.
I think we get the actual triple threat, not the 2-minute version. I think we get the actual triple threat of Rollins, Reigns, Lesnar.
I'm more inclined to think it's just straight Rollins versus Lesnar.
I actually agree with John. I've been saying it since WrestleMania. I thought we were going to see the same exact thing at SummerSlam, except this time, obviously, no cash in, unless somebody that has a briefcase decides to cash in at the end of SummerSlam. You know,
makes it a fatal
which
four-way.
would be the Ambrose curveball, I guess, all over again. But no, I think that it would make, from a booking standpoint, at Battleground they could do Rollins Reigns 1-on-1 and have Lesnar come in and just completely annihilate both of them, or they could just have Lesnar come back on the Raw after Payback and just come in and just demolish everybody again.
Yeah, I don't think we see Lesnar until after Battleground. I don't think they're going to waste one of his appearances at Battleground.
Right.
I don't know if that's going to
Well,
work. He does have more appearances in this contract than he did last time.
Yeah.
But they're holding to the 6-month suspension thing, so it won't be until August when we see Brock Lesnar. But
was it 6 months? They said 6 months it was a suspension?
Well, we know insider news it's 6 months.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
we're smart like that.
Yeah, of course. So. They said indefinitely. We knew it was 6 months, so that's how that works. The question about the championship tonight, though, is who are they going to pit against Seth Rollins for Elimination Chamber? The match is not in the chamber, so it's going to be interesting to see. I still think Kane has
but
obviously.
The way they booked it last night made no sense.
I know. Again, if they would have allowed Kane to destroy Seth Rollins, you've instantly got the Kane.
The way I think they'll probably do it, Doug, is that because clearly Kane is the reason Rollins won last night. He distracted Orton, and that's what happened. Triple H will come out boasting about how Seth got the job done all along, and Kane will be like, "Hey, well, what about me? I made it happen for him. I did it for him." So I think that's where that booking's going to go.
Yeah.
I truly think it's going to be Rollins versus Ambrose at Elimination Chamber. I'm just going to go with my gut. I don't think. I know it's easy to say. I know it's easy to say, like, to throw Kane in there because it's like a throwaway Elimination Chamber show, and if you want to get Kane versus Rollins out of the way, you do it there. But I'm just more inclined to think, especially with the match they had a couple of weeks to go on Raw, saying like match of the year stuff. I think they're going to just have a title match at the. Is it technically a pay-per-view or is it just like a special?
Yeah, no, it's pay-per-view because pay-per-view is WWE Network now. So yeah, it's pay-per-view.
Okay, well I say Ambrose.
But how does Ambrose get back into the mix?
Because WWE logic, nothing makes sense.
Okay,
Number one contenders match?
I accept that. I accept that.
Yeah.
Maybe Adam, maybe.
Yeah, maybe just a thrown together number one contenders match either tonight or tomorrow. Maybe they'll either stretch it out 1 or 2 weeks maybe, but usually it'll hopefully just tonight we find out.
I will say this: the 5-point preview definitely says that how will the future of the WWE follow up on his impressive win last night? Plus, with Kane's career in the Authority secure after Rollins' retention, what's the Director of Operations' next move? Even online, they're still playing up to Kane versus Rollins. I don't see Kane versus Rollins not happening. Now, whether that happens on Raw tonight or whether it happens at Elimination Chamber, the match is happening, period. Maybe that's Battleground. Maybe that's Battleground. Holy crap, you want to talk about the throwaway pay-per-view. Maybe that's the Battleground main event.
This is the longest build since WrestleMania. Sorry, Adam, go.
No, go ahead, Chris.
No, I was just gonna say, it's crazy. This is the longest built storyline since WrestleMania, Kane versus Seth Rollins, and we might not even get it at a major event.
Mm-hmm.
Do we think that and do you guys think at all that Stephanie coming back tonight, her and Triple H might just start butt heads a little bit, and there might be some cracks in the foundation there, or do you think she's gonna come back and they're instantly gonna be right back on the same page?
I like that idea.
Yeah, I think they're just gonna be the same as they always were. I mean, I don't see why they would have any cracks unless they both disagree on the Kane situation. But again, it's not really worth arguing about.
For me, that's wwhere Kane kind of plays into this a little bit. I was thinking that maybe it's because remember Stephanie controls Kane, Triple H controls Rollins in a way, and because Kane did give his mask, quote unquote, to Stephanie. So what if she didn't like how even though he said Daddy's home, Daddy's gonna clean up a mess. Maybe Daddy didn't clean up the mess as well as what Mommy thought. I don't know. I mean, who knows with the way that, again, there's logic and there's...
Is that how it works, guys? I feel like you two would have a good concept of that.
What's it? Right.
Is that how it works in the house with you
Does
guys?
Mommy have to clean up the mess?
It's quite the opposite, usually.
Daddy sleeps on the wet spot. That's how it works in this house. Yeah, I know. But that's what's on deck for Raw tonight, man. I don't know what to expect as far as the mid card stuff. I mean, if you want to go off of what the mid carders were tweeting today, I mean, Dolph Ziggler's got a nasty gash that's stitched up. What he was thinking, headbutting Sheamus's big old rock of a head last night, I don't know. But that was a hot first match, man. That match was great. I don't care what anybody says. That match kicked off the night, and I was instantly like, please, rest of the pay-per-view, please be as good as this match. And I was very pleased. I thought it was. I thought it was just as good. Ziggler versus Sheamus was awesome. Sheamus is the one that is being advertised as the next Intercontinental Champion. I mean, if you actually go and read websites for venues that are having live events in June, and live events and Raws that are in June and July, it says Intercontinental Champion Sheamus. Sorry if that's a spoiler, but that's what the ads are actually saying now. You can take that with a grain of salt because sometimes they do switch it up on us once we've learned something that shouldn't have been leaked out. But at the same time, the advertisements got leaked about Batista's return, Hulk Hogan's return. Like there's some things that they didn't fix, that they didn't try to play, wipe up the mess with Mommy. It was definitely. It's definitely out there. You can go read the advertisements yourself if you want. So
when you think about it, when the title gets vacant, it's so much easier to put it on a heel.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And Ziggler isn't winning this.
No, not at all. No.
Barrett is a sleeper. I wouldn't say it's. Because things always change with the what you're projecting and whatnot. I would give Barrett a very slim chance.
No, but we're gonna get some awesome spots in that chamber match. I'll tell you that right now. Some good workhorses in that thing, and I'm hoping that that Ziggler is 100% and ready to go in 2 weeks. Because I mean, that gash is sick. I don't know. I don't know how. Yeah, I don't know how if he gets in the ring tonight, it doesn't reopen.
Especially if he's stepping into the cell or the elimination chamber. There's so many ways to bust it.
Let me pose this question: are we seeing the end of Dolph Ziggler in WWE right now? Because his contract expires at the end of this year, or at some point this year.
I want to say it's at the end of July.
If he was smart, he would end his run in WWE. I think he can make a lot more money working.
Oh my God, he'll be headlining every indie show he's on.
Oh my God, if he's on in ROH or PWG or even New Japan Pro Wrestling, oh my God, the guy's going to be made in the shade.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, it'll free up time for him to do anything else he wants to do. I mean, he wants to do stand-up comedy.
Right.
He wants to do
TV stuff.
So it'd be smart for him. I mean, they've proven they're not going to push him to the top of the mountain. So for him, it's been there 10 years. Just, he could always come back. You know what I mean? And he could come back refreshed, renewed, and have a whole new life. And given a couple years time, he might not need the time to, just a short period like Orton did. But it'd be good to break away. Look what it did for Jericho. I mean, Jericho was probably at his best ever when he came back for those 3 years, the second coming.
When The Rock left, The Rock skyrocketed in Hollywood. I mean.
Yeah.
He's got that charisma and personality that he could go do movies or be on TV shows or host a show himself.
He wouldn't have the success that The Rock had by no means. I mean, he would have Jericho-style success. I think something like I Love the 90s, doing like I Love the 80s on VH1 or doing like those kinds of little bit shows or little comedy cameos here and there. I could see him doing that, but I don't think
Christian was taken more seriously after his brief run with TNA.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you win a major championship in another organization that people do pay attention to. Their hand is almost forced and been like, okay, well, he did this here. We can't just throw him to the bottom of the pack here. So
or put a blue dot on his face.
Valid.
Christian
Cage. Is it Dolph Cage?
No, but I think this even furthers if he does leave, it just furthers the comparisons to Billy Gunn, if anything, because Billy Gunn was one of the hardest working guys in WWE ever, and we see that he's training the guys of the future now because he was so freaking good. When he got clean, WWE brought him back and is now using him in a coaching ability, and we've seen the New Age Outlaws who both are clean, hold the tag team titles again. But at the same time, when Billy Gunn was as hot as Daniel, almost Daniel Bryan or Dolph Ziggler status now, okay? Billy Gunn was super hot in 1999. He won King of the Ring. They actually had the IC title on him. They had split up the New Age Outlaws. They're doing their thing. And it's the same kind of thing. You thought maybe at some point Billy Gunn's going to get the rub and get pushed up a little bit farther up the card, and it just didn't happen. They just don't have that. They didn't have that kind of faith in him being a main eventer. And it's the same thing with Dolph Ziggler. A workhorse, really gets really good reception, really popular, but not a top level guy.
Which I don't understand, especially after he was the lone survivor at Survivor Series. Why would they give him that honor of being the last one to survive at Survivor Series if they were just gonna put him back in the mid-card?
It only means something if they're gonna carry off that momentum at the time, And they carried it over into the Cleveland pay-per-view, which is his technically they're Spur the Bellman's hometown, outside of Hollywood, Florida. But they carried it over into the next pay-per-view, and it was in Cleveland. And then it was after that I felt like they could have carried some momentum over into the Rumble, where he was only in the Rumble for I think 2.5 minutes.
Right, but it's Roman Reigns was the guy that they wanted to push, so that's
right. But at least if Ziggler would have had a little bit more time in there, But I think once we saw what they did with him at the Rumble, we knew that they weren't going to do anything. Where he peaked was pretty much after Survivor Series at that, at tables, ladders, chairs, and steps. I think it was this year.
Stairs.
Whatever that was, but that was really where. And every time they do this with Ziggler, they'll push him to a certain point. It seems like he hits another plateau, and then they just drop him off.
I've just never understood it.
It's the same thing that happened to Billy Gunn. I mean, why did Billy Gunn win the King of the Ring? Which back then, King of the Ring meant you're the next guy. Like we're gonna build you to be a main eventer. And then he got thrown back into DX 2000, which was awful. And then of course Billy and Chuck.
Well, to be fair, Ziggler got hurt at a really inopportune time during that World Heavyweight Championship run. What was it,
Correct.
like a concussion from the Del Rio stuff? So once you get hurt and you're a champion and you're really early in your run, WWE just says, screw this, we cannot take a chance on this guy.
Especially with concussions now, too, I think, because now they're becoming more frequent, you know what I mean? So
exactly.
that is a good point.
Well, the dumbass may have given himself a concussion last night with a headbutt.
He wants out of there. He's just going to get himself hurt. That's going to be it. He's going to Gail Kim himself out of the next Battle Royal, and then that's going to be it.
We'll see what happens, man. The other mid-card stuff that we've seen on Twitter today, I mean, Adam Rose is teasing a new gimmick. The party is over, is what he said. He's done with the Rosebuds. So a little bit more serious. I think after the E60 special, people got to see a little bit more of this guy and what he actually struggles with and what he's doing. And I think WWE is going to use that momentum after the overwhelming response on social media about, holy crap, Adam Rose, let's do this for Adam Rose, let's do this for Adam Rose. There was an overwhelming response. So I think they're going to go a little bit more a serious route with the guy. I'm interested to see what that's going to be. I'm not a mark for Adam Rose. I thought the character was entertaining for the first 4 weeks, and then it was stale. But at the same time, the guy can work, so give him something better to do. They also teased the whole thing with Fandango not dancing anymore. Now, if they're really trying to rebuild tag team division and have new tag teams, I wouldn't be surprised to see Johnny Curtis and Adam Rose together.
But they just had a feud over Rosa, right? I mean,
yeah, well,
so tag team that quick.
Curtis Axel and Damian Sandow had a issue with each other for a week too.
Rosa's super expendable. I mean, no slight on Rosa. She's great on the eyes, but she's super expendable at this point. I mean, her range is limited.
She's never won a match.
Yeah.
Never won a match.
Never won a match in WWE.
No, but she's a great worker according to this one right here.
Okay, you know what? She's really pretty, so just
Sam,
Rosa's pretty.
Rosa?
Rosa was pretty.
Yeah, before life hit her in the face.
Got all the plastic surgery.
Yeah, I'm not a big Rosa fan. I'll tell you that right now.
Frank Manzo just loves what Rosa did to her body.
Yeah, man.
Like some of what she did to her body, not the face area though.
No, I mean that was sarcastic. He doesn't love any of it.
Oh no, none of it. None of it is.
You and Rosa have the same amount of wins in WWE, so congratulations.
And you could probably do a better roll up.
You can.
Yeah, anybody can.
And
probably do
can you go blonde better than she did?
I know she could probably do a better crossbody than Eva Marie, so she's already one step in the door, I think.
Eva Marie's doing 450 splashes now. If you watch WWE.com.
Wait, what? She's doing 450s?
Yeah, dude. The Brian Kendrick, man.
Brian Kendrick's teaching her up. I'll
believe it when I see it.
Go on her Twitter page. She's posting
She's not doing 450 splashes.
She did a moonsault.
She did do a moonsault. She is doing crossbodies like a champ. I'll give her credit where credit's due. She's actually got better. I mean, she's a lot better than she was.
She at least has a win, so she's one up on Rosa.
I'll say this. I'll say this. She didn't need the plastic surgery, but she looks better with it.
That is true.
Except the Michael Jackson nose.
Yeah,
the nose has to go.
That's not even as bad as Rosa's.
Oh no, Rosa's
beat up face.
Beat up face.
Hey, Rosa.
What's up, Rosa?
You're a very nice person.
Total divas.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about no, let's not get into that. We're just gonna end it here. I don't know how well. I don't think this conversation can get better. It's just gonna get worse. I don't want to be judging people all night because I think if we start, it's not gonna end. I'm excited to see what happens tonight on Raw. After a good pay-per-view, I'm always excited for Raw. Usually disappoints after a good pay-per-view, so I really hope that doesn't happen because of the pay-per-view that's coming up, and they're gonna try to get network viewers. So I'm hoping for good stuff tonight. 2 weeks ago when it was a 3-hour show and it felt like one because everything made sense and everything was enjoyable. I really feel like they have to do that tonight or else you're going to get the same comparisons to you're going to get the same trash talk about the main roster come Wednesday when NXT steals the show. Parting words from the dailies before we get out of here.
No, I just hope we see Paige tonight.
I want to say real quick, shout out to John because whenever I was watching, I rewatched the preview from the pay-per-view. John, brother, if I'm Joker, you're like my Batman. You had me like this yesterday, dude. So big props to you, brother.
Where is he?
Exactly.
I have one rule. Well, then you're gonna have to break it.
Water, parting words.
I don't even know what to say anymore. This was the weirdest show we've ever done. But I'm glad I'm back. It's been a while since I've done a couple of these. I got a new job. Holy crap. Applaud me, damn it. But yeah, it's a holiday. I'm gonna soak up some wrestling tonight. And Kevin Owens, be on the lookout. I would not be surprised if we see Kevin Owens face Cena.
I wouldn't be surprised either. I'm hoping that's what happens.
Well, that will be awesome.
I'm hoping that's what it is and it's not Rusev because, like you said, I mean the five knuckle shuffle was done for a reason.
Yep.
And he did it 3 nights in a row.
Mm-hmm.
For every one of those live events. So I'd be interested to see that, man. I would love to. If I hear Kevin Owens' music go off, because I have that playing when I'm working out, like I have a bunch of different themes just rolling while I'm working out in the gym.
Attaboy.
I'm going to lose my mind tonight. I'll just tell you that right now. John, parting words?
Yeah, outside plug here, and thanks, Adam, for the support earlier. I did my final piece for AOL Sports today, and it's a letter to the future college sports journalists of America, and I spent 4 years working on it, so check it out if you get a chance on my Twitter, @JohnAlbaSFC.
Yeah, since he plugged his, Walter, if you want to plug yours.
At Walder Sports, and my advice is don't go to journalism school because it's so hard to get a job.
maybe you'll get a new commentary article soon if you're lucky.
Whoa, foreshadowing.
Ooh, I'd say we'd probably get that before Rumor Control, but
probably.
Yeah, that's true.
you can also
get the Raw review right after this, so it's
that's
great.
true. We do have Raw review, and
with the special guest.
Right? Don't you have a special guest?
We do. Dave Hero's on tonight, so it's a huge show for us. It's going to be big.
Wow.
He'll get to school me the entire time, so it's.
He only has 9 toes now too. He only has 9 toes now too. So I mean, it's a really. I mean, this guy is bringing it.
He's got 9 toes, and he is getting in really good shape. The dude is a beast at his age right now. Like he has lost a lot of weight and looks really freaking just jacked.
By the way, before we go, I just want to say this because I was going to tell them this privately. My hat's off to Adam and Sam because they have been absolutely killing it with the YouTube page lately. We're getting more and more subscribers, more and more views. You guys are awesome, and I mean, seriously, if you're not watching their show immediately following Raw, you're doing yourself a disservice.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Thank you.
You can follow them on Twitter as well, at Adam Daly, excuse me, at Adam Daly 13 and at Lady Nexus 13. You can follow them on Twitter, and of course you can check them out tonight immediately following Raw right here on WrestlingRumors.net or the YouTube page. There'll be links on Twitter and Facebook and everywhere else for you to check that out with Dave Hero. That'll be freaking awesome. And then, of course, immediately after them, go over to WrestleReaction.net and check out Wrestle Reaction with Frank Manzo and probably myself. I don't know who else is going to be on there tonight. I don't think Joe's with him. So that'll be happening this evening. And, of course, don't forget to check out WrestlingRumors.net every single day. We have news going up all the time. Jim Ross was voted #1 greatest wrestling announcer of all time today. We had that up, and of course JR gave us some love on Twitter, and then we got tons of traffic off of that. So thanks JR, that was awesome. Like we have tons of credible guys that actually do follow WrestlingRumors.net, and we thank all of the ones that watched this show tonight. We thank all the ones that are in the chat room, all the ones that have been talking to us and chatting on YouTube, all the ones that have been talking to us on Twitter. You guys make this worthwhile. You are the ones that make us do this, because if y'all weren't here, especially the loyal ones that have been around since we started this site almost 2.5 years ago. Like, the fact of where we are today in 2.5 years is because of you. So we thank you as much as we thank anybody else. Thank you very, very much. We love you guys. Thanks for watching tonight. You can follow me at Doug O'Mac, or more importantly, you can follow WrestlingRumors.net on Twitter at WrestleRumors. I'll be live tweeting tonight during Raw. Hopefully it'll be a good time. Please join me in that because I love getting to talk to you guys, and of course, get some really good memes going and some good times on the Twitter machine because, man, it really, really, really makes the show go by a little bit faster when I have some entertaining people tweeting with me. So, love you guys. We'll catch you on the next one. Don't forget, we will be live again next Monday night and then next Sunday night, May 31st, not this coming Sunday, but the Sunday after that at 6 p.m., doing another one of these right here before the pay-per-view. And, of course, we'll break down the card and give you our predictions and stuff. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.